Hi everybody, welcome to part 2. I feel really nervous tonight. I don't know why. It feels a bit daunting going live with quite a few new people following the page. So bear with me if I stumble upon my words a little bit. Say hello whoever's there. It's nice to know who's watching. I've played Power Rangers for about 12 hours today with my 4-year-old. And I'm thinking I can do this for like 2 weeks, but I don't know about two months. So we'll see how we go. Please tell me if these videos are helpful. If you enjoy them, please press the like button or just send me a message. And I just want to build upon a little bit of what we talked about yesterday. Hello Avril. Thank you for being here. So ordinarily, when there isn't a pandemic across the globe, thank you for the like. I teach. I'm a private hypnobirthing teacher. I'm a midwife. Oh, Leanne, you're gonna be sick of me. Ordinarily, like I used to be a midwife. I still technically am, but I don't practice as a midwife. And I'm a health visitor as well, but again, I don't do that job anymore either. And I teach hypnobirthing privately. So as I say, when there's not a pandemic, I usually run small group courses with 3 to 5 couples with me. Or I go to people's homes and teach them there, and I love it. I love watching people's faces light up about when they learn all about it. And I know hypnobirthing's got a weird name and people think that I might put a spell on you or do some crazy stuff. It's nothing like that. The name is quite misleading actually, and it is essential stuff. So I hope in part by me doing these, people will realise just how essential hypnobirthing is. I think it's tend to be thought of as a bit of a luxury, but actually it is essential birth preparation. So going off what we said yesterday, we talked about the subconscious brain. I'm just going to build upon that a little bit tonight by talking about the labour hormones and how they work. Sorry, I'm just getting some messages here. And basically, yeah, we talked about the subconscious, that it's already hardwired into you how to give birth. And actually, your subconscious plays a massive part in your labour and birth. And very basically, Laura, hi, Emma, hello. This is just going to be a live of me saying hello to people that I know. Your subconscious controls, it's more complicated than this, but it's responsible for controlling a lot of the labour and birth hormones. The most important one being oxytocin. I don't know if you've ever heard of oxytocin. Oxytocin is a very important hormone to know about, and it's the hormone that creates the surges, the contractions within your body. So it's actually what's going to be making your uterus do this. And I know a lot of people start thinking, well, why do I need to know that? You absolutely need to know how oxytocin works, because you can have a massive amount of control over whether your oxytocin plummets or whether you get it sky high as much as we can, which is what we want. Now, actually, the way that we give birth has not evolved remotely. Laura, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think we've changed how we give birth at all since we used to live in caves, as far as I'm aware. So no, we think we're super clever, don't we, and that we've advanced loads, but actually giving birth is very primal, very instinctive, very animalistic. It just is. That's why we're called lion hearts. And back when we used to live in caves, can you imagine being in labour when there were predators around? Our subconscious would be constantly checking for danger, constantly scanning, checking for danger, and so would adjust our labour hormone levels to either speed labour up or slow labour down, depending on what was going on around us. Now, we don't have, thank goodness, predators around us anymore. that basically want to eat us when we're giving birth to our babies. But we still have this system in place, so our body still reacts when we're in labour as though there's like saber-toothed tigers or whatever on the outside. Now, and the way your body does this is that all your senses in labour will be on high alert, okay? So your pupils will dilate when you're in labour. They'll get a lot bigger, and basically so that you can scan the room and take in as much information about what's going on in the room as possible. Your hearing will start to be more sensitive, and you'll be listening for danger, sounds that might seem dangerous. And danger doesn't have to be like danger. It could be an unfamiliar voice, it could be phones ringing, it could be somebody knocking at your front door. Your subconscious will treat that as potentially dangerous and start to make adjustments with your hormone levels. Hi Lisa. If it doesn't feel that it's a reassuring sound, so to speak. So your vision, your hearing, your sense of smell. If you've got a baby on board at the moment, you might have already noticed that your sense of smell has got more sensitive. It's not a coincidence. It's getting ready for labour and birth, for motherhood. Apparently, if there's like danger out there, it's your nose that picks it up before anything else, strangely. So your sense of smell is really important for keeping us safe. And also your sense of touch gets more sensitive as well in labour. So you are literally using all of your senses, looking, listening, feeling, I've missed one, smelling, for danger, to see whether basically things are safe and we can carry on in labour and give birth to basically our most precious entity in the world. Please message me if this doesn't make sense, or just write there that it doesn't make sense. And if your senses are getting messages that yes, everything is safe, proceed. Your labour hormone levels, that oxytocin, will build and build and build, having lots of really effective regular, I say surges, it's a long story, contractions, so that your labour will be more quick, more efficient. But if your brain is getting messages that no, it's not safe, I don't like what I'm seeing, I don't like what I'm hearing, I don't like what I'm smelling, your brain will treat that as though there's a danger on the outside. Your labour hormones will drop, basically to keep your baby safe, to slow your labour down, keep your baby safe where they need to be, and labour can go on and on and on. Hiya Ruth. And this is an absolute basic of labour and birth that most people are never told about. So if you've got a pen and paper, write down seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, and this is what you can control in labour. And these are things that you can start to put together to, I don't want to say trick, but almost, to trick your brain that everything is safe. So if we talk about vision first, what I tell my clients, what I want them to see in labour more than anything else in the world is their birth partner, okay? Having a birth partner with you who is well informed about labour and birth, who loves you, who supports you, who is not going to leave your side at all. They're allowed to go for a wee, but apart from that, no. That is one of the most reassuring things a woman in labour can see. She also needs as much darkness around her as possible. I can't stress this enough. We are animals at the end of the day, and you've got to think like an animal basically. And if you compare how we give birth on brightly lit labour wards, fluorescent lighting sometimes, to how a cat might give birth. They go under sheds, get into really small, cozy spaces. Now, nobody go under the shed. It's not a good idea. But we need to mimic that. We need to mimic what animals do and get back in tune with that. So you need your labour environment as dark as we can possibly make it. Midwives don't need, Laura might tell me off, I don't think she will, she loves hypnobirthing. Midwives don't need that much light. Yes, they need to be able to see and they need to be able to write their notes, but actually dimmed lighting will be fine for them. So close curtains, it's fine to do that in the hospital. Buy a blackout blind. I really mean it, because if it's light, what are you going to do when you're in the hospital? What are you going to do? You need to be able to shade out as much light as possible. Buy one of those sleep masks. We call them princess masks in our house. Basically, you are obliterating anything that you can see. And I don't know if people are watching this and thinking, this sounds nonsense. I know a lot of people who watch this won't know me. You just have to totally trust me on this, okay? I know a lady who was in the final stages of labour and her surges went right down. She was having about 2 surges every 10 minutes, which you would birth a baby, but it's going to take a while. And she was feeling very conscious of who was around her. It was very light in the room, so she asked the staff for a few towels, which I think was really brave of her, but and I think they looked at her a bit like, right, okay. She put a couple of towels over her head to shield out people that she knew people were watching her, to create some darkness and some privacy. And within about 5 minutes, her surges returned very quickly, really effective, and she gave birth very quick soon after. So I don't know if that story makes me sound a bit crazy, but I have total faith in this. You need as much darkness as you can get. Most babies are born at night time, okay? It's not a coincidence. It goes back to caveman days when, again, predators around could see us when things were light. Yeah, is this making sense? So we would wait until darkness came and we felt safer, we felt more protected from predators, and then we would be like, boom, let's do this, let's have our babies. So if you're, more than likely you will labour during the night, but if for whatever reason you don't, so you're being induced, you need to fake as much darkness as possible by either putting a blackout blind up or putting a princess mask on, as we'll call it. I also tell people to put loads of pictures up, happy pictures of scan photos, wedding photos, holiday photos, good times. Your oxytocin will respond. It's a happy hormone, it's a love hormone, and I'm not saying that looking up and seeing a wedding photo is gonna boom give you an amazing birth experience, but it's like it's one tool you can put in your toolkit, and it just might give you that, like, oh, do you remember that? And spur you on, and putting stuff of babies, you know, things that you're going to dress baby in soon, just to keep you focused. So yeah, what you can see, those are the things that I would want you to see in labour. I hope you're writing this down. What I would want you to hear, more important than anything, is the most important sound that a woman can hear in labour is her birth partner's voice, okay? It's incredibly reassuring to have your birth partner tell you important words to say to a woman, that she's safe, that you love her, that you're with her and you're going to stay with her, that she's awesome, and that you're really proud of her, telling her to breathe, telling her to drop her shoulders. But basically, being a birth partner is more about being there than anything else, and your birth partner's voice saying those things to you on rote. They don't have to keep coming up with new things to say. Incredibly reassuring to women in labour, and will keep those happy hormones happy, for want of a better word. I also recommend listening to birth affirmations, and I give all my clients birth affirmations to listen to, which is positive statements about labour and birth. If anyone wants to know more about that, just let me know. But relaxation music, really like, you know, plinky plonky, not very much happens relaxation music, because we just want to keep your subconscious brain happy, and we don't want to, you know, get anything in your brain too excited. Things I don't want you to hear in labour is phones ringing, conversations about you or about other women in labour, bins slamming in hospital. Really, really annoying, and actually, I can't stress this enough, really disruptive when you're trying to get in the zone. If you can hear people, you know, everyday chit chat. I used to do that as a midwife. Sorry, everyone, I thought that was helpful. But actually it's really distracting. Women mostly need silence when they're in labour, just a gentle, reassuring word that they're awesome and that they're safe, and not actually anything else. I tell a lot of my clients to just put headphones in. When you're in labour, it is not your job to be sociable. It's not, you are not there to make conversation and general chit chat. You are gone out of the room, headphones in, blind on. Trust me on this. What I want you to smell in labour is any smells that you find reassuring. Lavender is a biggie, but you can't smell lavender in labour and expect it to work wonders, okay? Because it's not going to do that. You've got to really, your subconscious has got to really associate lavender with feeling safe. So you've got to spray lavender on your pillow every night. You've got to put lavender in your bath every night. You've got to have it on a hanky. You've got to have it in a diffuser during your pregnancy, so that when you smell it in labour, your brain's like, oh, we know this smell, everything's fine. You don't have to have lavender. Some people think it's a bit of an old lady smell. I really like lavender. You can take blankets and pillows from home, so that, you know, if you're over your birthing ball, if you're having a hospital birth, and it smells of home, your brain's going to be thinking, oh, we're at home, everything's fine. Hi, Helen. If some people have take their partner's aftershave in with them, and they just get them to spritz themselves every now and again, so that basically, you know, if you've got your headphones in, you've got your eye mask on, they can smell that their partner's there, and it reminds them of their partner's presence. Look like I had what's it called? I've forgotten the word. Yeah. I've had one woman take Zaflora into hospital because that's what her house smells like, and she just kind of dabbed a bit on the pool edge, you know, and every time she smelled it, she just got a little reminder that she was at home. And I don't know how people, tell me if this is helpful, please. I don't know if some of this sounds like too simple, but actually birth is incredibly simple. It's incredibly simple. It's an incredibly basic function that we have massively overcomplicated. Oh, I've not done touch. So yeah, it's very common in labour that women kind of reach out a lot and want to touch things, and it's all, you're just kind of building a picture up in your head and deciding whether what you're seeing, hearing, smelling, touching is safe, familiar and reassuring. Hi Stephen. Oh my goodness, how did you find out about me? What was I saying? Yeah, you're getting all this information, and you're basically deciding, yes, it's safe, reassuring, familiar, continue, so let's up our hormone levels, or nope, not sure about that, don't like that smell, don't know that person's face. Even if they're lovely, if you don't know their face, you're meeting them for the first time, your body will respond to them as though they're a threat at first, until you get used to them. And it's really common if you're having a home birth, when your midwife arrives, even if you know her quite well, for your surges, your contractions to drop a little bit, the arrival of a new person. but especially when you arrive at hospital, if you're having a hospital birth. Sorry, I've just heard that me say that sentence in my head then, sounding a bit silly. But when you arrive at hospital, your senses will be on massive high alert, and you'll be getting lots of messages. You know, it's busy, there's lots of people here, it sounds strange, it's quite noisy. Your subconscious will be like, hi Vicky. Your subconscious will be like, no, we don't like this, thank you. Drop the labour hormones, slow labour down until we get a message that things are safe again. Which yeah, we need to change some of the signals that we're getting. So you guys can get a little calm birth kit, whatever you want to call it, together of all the things that are going to be reassuring to you in labour, what's going to be reassuring to your senses. So I've not got my list in front of me, but a blackout blind, an eye mask, holiday pictures, baby clothes. I'm thinking of what I can see. Tea lights, fairy lights. If you think of anything else, put it in the comments. What you can hear. Birth partner, obviously, they're the main one. In terms of your birth environment, what you can hear, headphones to sound out distractions with something relaxing, reassuring on it. You need, and smells, you need something that is going to basically remind you that you're safe and well, and everybody's different. Please tell me what you think of that. Has anyone ever, well, lots of my Lionhearts are watching this, so they know. Please tell me if anyone's ever taught you any of this, if you think it's helpful, and if you liked it, I'd really appreciate you throwing a like or a love on, because times are hard for self-employed people at the moment. I said yesterday, I'm not embarrassed at all. Business has and I'm more than happy to share with you guys what I know during this stressful time. And if I can make things better for people, it's one thing having a coronavirus knocking about, but it's another thing being pregnant and having a coronavirus knocking about. Not because I don't believe you're more at risk as far as I'm aware, but it's just an unsettling time for everybody, and being pregnant on top of that just adds to it. So I'm happy to help. Send me any messages if you want me to talk. I've got a basic plan in my head of what I'm going to talk about, but if there's something in particular that you want me to discuss, just let me know. All right, have a fab evening, everybody. Bye.